This is what we're doing in reading on October 14th, 2020. We first started looking at vocabulary words. We talked about spoon. The students said it and they gave an example. We did the same thing for against, churn, stock, heal, and drive. And then we reviewed when we ask and answer questions while we read. We usually do that before, during, and after we read. And the reason we do that is because we have to get information, we have to help understand the text, we have to practice being awake while we read, and to be curious and wonder as you read. And then how do we do it? We ask these 6 questions: who, what, where, when, and why and how. Who, what, where, when, why, and uh, and how. And then we read who put the cookies in the cookie jar. And we read through the book. One hand in the cookie jar takes a cookie out. How many hands put the cookie in? Is what the world's all about. Before we read this, we asked ourselves what this book was going to be about. We asked questions what it was going to be about. Hands that mix and stir the dough, spoon the clumps into a row, hands that make the cookie sheet, oven mitts against the heat, hands that feed and milk the cow, churn the butter and guide the plow, hands that sow and grind the wheat into flour for us to eat, hands that tend and feed the hens, gather eggs, build the pens, hands that harvest sugarcane, cut and grind, load the train, hands that load the trucks and drive, stock the shelves when things arrive, hands that clothe and feed them all, hand heal and touch, large and small, hands that help, that hands that help. Are what the world's all about. Many put the cookies in so one can take it out. And then during reread, we asked ourselves a couple of questions about the text. And then after the story was done, we asked, what did we learn about this book? Then we got into spaghetti and meatball spaces. If it's a spaghetti space, it's a very tiny space, which is what we want when we write letters. But if it's a meatball space, it's a big space. So we don't want that. We don't want big spaces when we write. Then we talked about this sentence: I want to play with my friends. The pumpkin is very big. So this sentence, couple sentences, has a meatball space. You can fit a meatball between A and N. We have to make it a spaghetti sentence, just like this. I want to play with my friends. The pumpkin is very big. And that's what we discussed in reading on October 14th, 2020.